Folks, it's almost May, and that means it's time to dive into another TBR Reading Spa book prompt. If you're not sure what the TBR Reading Spa is, have a look at the announcement videos by Jen the Librarian and myself in the description below. But the Cliff Notes version is we are reading from our bookshelves this year. So we're using a set of fun, silly, some might say frivolous questions to guide us to a prompt each month to help us pick a book from our home libraries. Now, I am a bit short on time because I need to have this video done and dusted in a couple of days. So I'm either going to have to pick a short book or give myself permission not to finish in this vlog. I hope that's all right with you too. So no more messing about, let's dive into what the prompts are for this month and get on with picking a book. Okay, so here we are with May's questions and reading prompts, and where we'll end up is somewhere where we've got a choice of genre. So there's plenty of options there, so hopefully everybody can find something on their shelves that fits one of those prompts. So option 1 might be to read a romance, comedy or comfort book. Option 2 is to read something sci-fi, fantasy or speculative. I do love a speculative novel. And option 3 is to read a horror, a mystery or a thriller. So hopefully that covers all bases. Everybody has something on their shelves that could be described as any of those, but please take liberties. This isn't meant to be too prescriptive. All right, so we are starting off with our question, which is what's your coffee shop order? Options being a seasonal latte, a tea, or a black coffee. I don't know if we can read too much into the type of reader we are by these questions, but we're just going to go with it. It's a really easy, no doubt, no questions for me. I love a gimmick, so it's a seasonal latte for me every time. I literally had a Turkish Delight hot chocolate yesterday. It was delicious, but yeah, put anything on the menu that's even remotely unusual or different or seasonal, and that's what I'm ordering. So no doubts there. So that takes us on to our next question. Would you like whipped cream with that? The answer is no, I am not a fan of whipped cream, which means that my prompt for May is to read something sci-fi, fantasy or speculative. So let's head to the shelves and see what our options are. All right, here we are. We should have plenty of options on the TBR shelves to choose from this month. So immediately my eye is drawn to The Witch. This was shortlisted for the International Booker. This is about a woman with witchy powers, but they're not as powerful as her children's, I think. She cries tears of blood as per the cover when she practices her powers. I'm really intrigued by this, so that's a definite option. Across the Green Grass Fields is the next in the Wayward Children series, which is a portal fantasy, and I would love to read that this weekend, but I'm not sure how interesting that will be in a vlog to read something from a series. Animal by Lisa Taddeo I think would probably fit this prompt. Green Teeth would fit this prompt. I Cheerfully Refuse. Yeah, I really like the sound of this, but it's chunky and I want to read it quickly. Okay, but I'm going to tell you about it anyway. I'm not likely to pick that, I don't think. What else? The Ferryman and His Wife. I bought this around Christmas time. That definitely fits and is not too long. That's an option. Do you know what I'm thinking of? And I can't see it here. I wonder if it's on a different shelf. I've got a book called The Waiter. Can you see The Waiter anywhere? Which is a choose your own adventure book. I'm sure that was speculative, but and it's quite short for a choose your own adventure book. Why can't I see it here? I've put that in a safe place for some reason. Okay, I might see if I can find that, because that's also another good option. But otherwise I've picked 3 off, which could work. So Leave that with me for a minute. I'll come back to you and we'll decide which one I'm going to read. Okay, I found it on a different shelf. The Waiter by Kwan Ann Tan. Let me tell you what this is about. London in a not too distant future, the city is being swallowed into the ground. The rich are still getting richer and waiters do the jobs you don't have time for. They queue for your concert tickets, they stay in for your deliveries and stir your risotto. Step into the shoes of an unnamed waiter who has no recollection of who they were before their role in the company. Now select your next job and decide whether to peek into the client's luggage or if you'll risk losing work credits by helping a tired woman with her shopping. With 11 different endings and countless journeys towards them, the waiter creates a labyrinth world of possibilities and parallel worlds which combine to explore queer longing, consumerism and agency in a city and a psyche on the brink of collapse. Do you see what I mean? That sounds so good. And really unusually, like for a choose your own adventure type book, it's pretty short. So I'm assuming you can just read all of the possible outcomes. I think that sounds really great. And what an interesting concept, especially in like a time of AI, which I feel enormously conflicted about. So that's a definite option, I think. The Ferryman and His Wife by Frode, Grytten, translated, oh come on people, by Alison McCullough. Let me tell you what this is about. Oh no, it's not there, is it? It says on the back it's saturated with tenderness. I'm not sure that I'm in the headspace for saturated with tenderness. I might have to rethink this choice. On the 18th of November, ferryman Niels Vik heads out onto the fjord, as he has each day for many years. But today, his trip is different. As his trusty boat reaches the sea, a lifetime of passengers join him from beyond the grave. Stories emerge from the woodwork, and Niels is reminded of the moments in which the course of his boat and his life was irreversibly changed. But Niels is waiting for just one passenger, his wife, Marta, whose absence has marked each day since her passing. Approaching the end of his journey, his expectation grows. Will he be reunited with her too? At once uplifting and heartbreaking, The Ferryman and His Wife is a contemplative celebration of life from one of Norway's most prominent writers. I'm feeling a little on the kind of like mentally fragile side at the moment, so I'm wondering if that would be a help or a hindrance. I'm not convinced either way at the moment, so that's still in the running. Might be quite affirming, maybe. And then I Cheerfully Refuse by Leif Enger. Let me remind myself what this is about. I Cheerfully Refuse tells the tale of a bereaved musician. Oh gosh, more bereavement. A bereaved musician taking to Lake Superior in search of his departed, deeply beloved book-selling wife. Oh, how interesting. Two really similar books. On land, Rainey finds increasingly desperate people, a malignant billionaire ruling class, crumbled infrastructure, and a lawless society. And amid the challenges of life on the water, he is lifted by physical beauty, generous strangers, and an unexpected companion. As Rainey's private quest for the love of his life grows into something wider and wilder, friends and foes alike are swept up in his strengthening wake. A rollicking narrative in the most evocative of settings, I Cheerfully Refuse is a symphony against despair and a rallying cry for the future. Oh, that's given me goosebumps. I really do want to read this. But I don't think I can justify picking it up when I've got about 7 other books on the go, and I've promised myself I'm going to do this done and dusted in a couple of days over my weekend. But doesn't it sound good? Okay, and then our last option is The Witch by Marie Ndiaye, translated by Jordan Stump. In a small French town, a mediocre witch trapped in a cruel marriage cries watery tears of blood as she passes on her gifts to her twin daughters. They must soon make a choice: stay close to the nest and the mother who nourished them, or soar away from the dead-end claustrophobia their selfish father has imposed. Dreamlike and unsettling, the witch captures the terror and precarity of motherhood and marriage, and the realization that your progeny are more dangerous to the world and to your heart, and freer than you ever could have imagined. Oh, I am spoilt for choice, hey? Okay, I'm going to rule out I cheerfully refuse just because of the length of it. But go out and buy it and let's read it together at some point. I am going to rule out the Ferryman and his wife because that sounds very sad. So it comes down to the witch and the waiter. I need you to weigh in, but you're in the future, so you can't help me now. Okay, I'm going to go for the waiter because I think that sounds like a good time. I'm intrigued. I think it sounds really interesting. Let's do it. The waiter it is.
We're dancing on moonlight cosmic. All I wanna do, your loving is so hypnotic. Colliding all night, can't stop it. Diving in a summer blue. Your loving is so hypnotic. Sweat so hot when I shock my body. Come on, come alive. If you want a good time, you got me. Lights, camera, action. If you wanna love somebody. Drowning in these lights, fever colored high. Do you like it like that? Yes. Better heart, never beat, beat, beat so fast. Drop it up, down, back. Yes. Falling like a domino.
Well, it's shaping up to be a rather brilliant day all round. Not so brilliant was the fact that they forgot my lunch order and it took an hour to come, but that did mean that I had plenty of time to read plenty of The Waiter, but I'll come back to this. Whilst I was in town, I popped into Oxfam and I found Dignity by Alice Conran. If you'll remember, a couple of months ago I read Pigeon by Alice Conran. So spotted this author and thought, I know you. So Alice Conran is a Welsh author. And this is a book about a lady called Magda. She's a former scientist with a bad temper and a sharp tongue, living alone. We love me a book about a protagonist living alone. Getting through carers at a rate of knots until Sir Sheila arrives, bringing a new life to Magda's old house by the sea. This sounds very much like a bit of me. I really liked Alice Conran's character writing, so I've got really high hopes for this. I think this was a really super find. It was £4.99 though from Oxfam. That's a bit spenny for an Oxfam, is it? Is it just me? And the dogs have had ice cream. It's a really nice day. It's the first proper nice day, so I'm about to go and sit outside and do some reading, which will be the first time I've done that this year. How exciting. But The Waiter, this is so fucking good. It's absolutely brilliant. So it reads a bit like a short story. So you've got not a collection but a short story, because it is a slip of a book, and obviously not the whole book is the whole story because it's got multiple different endings. So I have read one of 11. Is it 11 different endings? Anyway, we'll come back to that. So the setup is that we're in a very much not too distant future, because there's some stuff that's familiar, set in London. But in this not too distant future, there are moors that happen, and basically it's where the earth opens up and like just swallows people, buildings, places whole. So hence that's what is depicted on the cover. So that's an interesting premise. And then you've also got the waiters. Now, I was thinking the waiter as in somebody who serves you. It's not. It's you pay people to, oh my God, there's a blue tit having some of my sheep's wool for his nest. Ah! I never see birds using that. I hang sheep's wool in the garden for birds to help themselves to for nests, and I can see a blue tit using it now. Oh, that brings me so much joy. Anyway, so the waiters, it's not that they are a waiter as in like a serve, like somebody who serves you things. They are a waiter as in they will wait for things for you. So they'll do the tasks that take longer. So they will stand in line for you and wait for tickets. They will take your luggage from one place to another so that you don't have to detour. They'll like wait at the laundrette for your laundry to finish so that you don't have to. So hence that's the waiting. So we are, because it's written in the second person, we are a waiter. We don't remember our memories. We woke up and were kind of basically adopted by the company, and the company sounds a lot like slave labor, so that you have to kind of like earn your way to like greater privileges. So even things like where you sleep, or what you have available to you in the cafeteria, you have to kind of like work your way up different levels. So all of the premise is really, really cool. And then in amongst all of that, you've got a kind of like queer love story. Not so much a love story, a queer story. I'm loving it. It's really, really fun. I love this premise. I love what the moors, the kind of like holes in the earth, could be representing. I really love the concept of, I feel like we're not too far away from the whole kind of like waiter concept, especially when we think about AI. And there was a moment where the waiter's like, I'm pretty sure my supervisor is AI. Yeah, so interesting, really fun, exactly what I needed. I'm reading alongside this at the moment quite serious books, so yeah, this is the absolutely perfect book to have picked up. So I'm now going to head into the garden and I'm going to work my way back to where I can make a different decision and see if I can find one of the other 11 endings. Yeah, 11 endings. I've just decided to go and stand and wait to supervise somebody making soup. So I'm going to be looking after the soup. Okay, I have now read 3 of the 11 endings, and I have to say I'm just completely in awe of this. It's so wonderful. I've got something completely different, like a completely different message from each of the 3 endings that I've got to. It's giving so much in so few pages. Like one was kind of philosophical, another one was like the waiter goes and does something else, like that's not their work, to have a bit of a break, and it's kind of disappointing, and they come out and feel relieved that they're then back into their kind of like task-driven life, and that decisions are being made for them. God, I so relate to that. Like when I'm anxious, I get decision paralysis, and like just having a way for somebody to tell me, okay, now do this. It's just so comforting and reassuring, and I just really related to that. And yeah, there's another one that I've just finished that was really quite philosophical. A moment has happened where a penny has dropped for me, and something has tied in amongst the stories, and I can't say any more than that, and I'm gonna find it difficult to talk about it anymore, I think, because I wouldn't want to spoil anything. But I think this is absolutely astounding, and I'm going straight back in to find another ending. I do not have sufficient words to tell you just how brilliant this is. I have read all of the endings. I have devoured this in a day. And yeah, I can't tell you how fantastic it is. Like each of the endings provides a story that stands up all on its own. Each of them vary differently. They had like different morals to the story. They painted you as the main character in a different light sometimes. Some were horrifying, some were funny, some were kind of moving. It did all of those things. And then there were some like overarching themes that you can see as part of the bigger picture, which has really tickled my brain today in the best way. Yeah, really thinking about self-definition, I guess, and choice and the illusion of choice and agency, and like basically like sliding doors moments, right? Because as you are the reader kind of reading this book, you're making a decision at the end of each kind of section, like, do you want to do this and turn to this page, or do this and turn to this page? You know, as it is with life, we're making those decisions that have kind of like knock-on ripple effects and take us to different places than if we had made... Sorry, that's just Sam breaking in. He was alarmed at not being able to get into the kitchen. Yeah, just as we do with life, we make a decision and that takes us down a path with a consequence and an outcome. And if we'd have made a different choice, we would end up in a different path. Maybe I'm stating the obvious. But yeah, as I said, this has like scratched an itch in my brain in the most satisfying way today. I've had the best time with it. I really recommend this. So this was The Waiter by Kwan Ann Tan. Really highly recommend picking this up. So that's it, we've done it. I've been so efficient. I'm so pleased with myself. I finished like a whole like day and a bit earlier than I'd intended to. Like, yeah, fantastic. I hope it hasn't been boring to watch because I've literally just kind of like gobbled that up all in one go. But anyway, thank you for being here with me, and I hope that you are looking after yourself, and I will see you again in another video.